I'm so obsessed with this fall themed makeup, and I'm so excited that I finally got to use Give Beauty and do a full face of makeup using new products. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Heather Eaglin. I love all things makeup, especially colorful makeup. If you're not already, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on your notifications so you can be notified of all my future uploads. Before we start the video, I just wanted to say thank you. Yesterday, I was able to hit 100 subscribers. Even though in the land of YouTube, that's not a lot of subscribers, like at all, but I'm so excited about it and just seeing my channel grow and get bigger every day. And I'm so grateful. And I wanted to say thank you, that I wouldn't have any if it wasn't for you guys. So I just appreciate you all very much. Now let's talk about Give Beauty. For those of you who don't know, this is a relatively new brand. It came out this year, and this brand was created by Gwen Stefani. This week was the first time that I was able to try any of her products. I got the liquid lipstick in the shade Tomboy, and I freaking love that so much. Here I'm using the Give Beauty Pick It Up Cream Contour and Bronzer Duo. The bronzer is a powder. I bought this in the wrong shade. I got it in fair, and I think I need to get it in light. I was able to make it work, and because of that, I think I do want to keep this, but I plan on picking up the light shade as well. I think I'm stuck in between like the shades light and fair, because the contour works for me, but the bronzer doesn't. The contour was very like creamy, and it blended so well, like perfectly. And I really loved the bronzer for the same reason. The formulas work really great together, but if I was to critique anything about it, is the size of the pans. I love the packaging. It feels very like luxurious and it's beautiful, but the pans are really small and it's kind of hard to get a brush in there. I mean, it's doable, but I just would rather have a bigger pan. But that's more of like a personal preference kind of thing. It's been so long since I've had or used a contour, I think I forgot how much I loved it. Now I'm using the bronzer, and you can see where it goes over top of that cream. It really does like work very well over top of it. And putting the bronzer over top of that cream contour, it kind of deepens it up. That's why I'm kind of confused about whether I'm the fair shade or the light shade. Also, I just wanted to say, as you're applying the powder, there's a smell. It smells good. It smells kind of like a floral, like cleaner in a way. You don't smell it after you're finished applying it, but you do smell it as you're like putting it on your face. So if you're someone who's sensitive to smells, you might want to take that into consideration. Out of the two face products that I purchased, this Give Beauty Filling Cheeky Amplifying Blush Duo was my absolute favorite. I got it in the shade Flirty Talk, and for this look, I kind of did a blush draping. I used both shades. I started with the darker one and kept that more to the outer perimeters of my cheekbones, and then towards the inner part of my cheek I used that lighter shade, and I also used it to go over the edges to kind of blend it out. These are so beautiful and pigmented, but they blend out very easily, so if you go like overboard, it's easy to fix it. I really love these. I think this is such a great blush formula, and it wore beautifully. It lasted until, I think I washed my makeup off at like 1 a.m. last night. So the longevity of it is excellent too. When I go to repurchase the deeper shade in the bronzer duo, I want to also pick up the highlighter. I've heard a lot of really great reviews on it, but I would love to try it. If anyone's tried it yet and you have any thoughts on it, I would love to hear your review in the comments. This is the Too Faced Brow Shaper and Filler Eyebrow Pencil. It's supposed to be a pomade and a pencil. The claims on it are that it's 36-hour wearing and it's waterproof. I don't recommend you wear your makeup for 36 hours, but I mean the waterproof claims are really cool. I typically use a micro brow pencil because I like the really fine tip. My favorite drugstore option is the NYX Micro Brow, and it's in a really great range of colors. And my favorite of all time is the Benefit Precisely My Brow. I freaking love that brow pencil, and I've repurchased it, I know, more than 10 times. And recently I got the Rowan Micro Brow Pencil in my BoxyCharm, and I'm really enjoying that one too. This Too Faced brow pencil is in a diamond shaped, and honestly, because it's not that fine point, I really didn't think I was gonna be that crazy about it. But this is a really good brow pencil, and it's actually faster to do my brows with this than anything else in my collection. Because it has those fine points in the diamond shape, you can still be very precise with it and just use the tip to create hair strokes or to line underneath your brows. Or you can use it on its side and just kind of fill them in all at once, which is really nice. Like I said, it's a lot faster. I like the texture of this too. It's kind of dry, but it's not like pulling dry, but the formula of it kind of grips to your brow hairs, and I really like this a lot. This is another brow product that I use in my routine all the time. This is the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. It's a really fine felt tip marker, and it's really great because you can get like little tiny perfect hair strokes with this, and you can use the spoolie and blend it out. Like, it makes your brows look believable. This is another product I use in my brow routine every time I do my brows. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze. If you need good hold on your brow gel, this is one of the best. Elf makes a dupe of this, and although that one is very good too, this one holds just a little bit more. But the ABH is around $30, and the Elf Brow Freeze is around $10. So, and like I said, it's still a really good brow gel too. And if you're balling on a budget, you know, $10 is a lot different than $30. The Got to Be Glued brow gel is a good option too, and it's sold on Amazon. I used to be really terrible at doing my eyebrows, but these products really helped me and made it a lot easier. This is a highlighting duo. It's the Get Groovy from Unearthly Cosmetics. It came in one of the summer mystery boxes, and I really love this. I love Unearthly's highlight formula. They make some of the best colorful highlighters. They're some of my favorites in my collection. One side of the duo has a very smooth formula, and the other one is more of a chunky, it has more glitter particles in it. If you don't mind that in your highlights, you will love these. But if you're someone who likes a very smooth or lit within type of highlighter, even if it's like a really high impact, you know, some of them, the textures make them look smoother on the skin. And if that's your preference, then you won't like these. This is another product that's new to me. This is the Too Faced 3-in-1 Replenishing Primer and Setting Spray. This did a really good job of bringing the hydration back to my skin, and it made all of those powders and stuff like sink into my skin, and I really love the look of this. And I think it did a really good job of helping with the longevity of my makeup. This is the ColourPop Hocus Pocus 2 palette. I wanted to use this because I recently had this in my video where I talked about palettes in my collection that I purchased and still haven't used. I purchased this last Halloween, but like I said in that video, I purchased this palette when I was moving, so I didn't get to use a lot of palettes that I purchased in October of last year. And this palette is no longer for sale on the ColourPop site, but when I looked it up, I found it on Amazon. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see ColourPop bring it back for Halloween because they did the first Hocus Pocus palette last year. I absolutely love Hocus Pocus. It's nostalgic for me. So when I seen them release this, I was so excited. I bought the full collection. I like ColourPop's eyeshadow formula. Not all of their palettes are created equal though. Some palettes are better than others. I think they have a good formula and a great formula, typically anyways. Now for this palette, the green shade I used, I really loved. There was like a little bit of glitter reflect in it, and where I used it for my inner corner, I think that looked really pretty. A lot of times you can pack this on, and then when you blend it out, the glitter shades will disappear. I also really love this orange shade because it packed on and blended out easily, but the thing that I loved about it most was that how well it layered when I deepened it up. I really love the shimmer shades that I used as well. They were really beautiful and sparkly, and I always enjoy using the shimmer shades from ColourPop. Here I'm using a double-ended brush. It's from Sigma Beauty. It came in the Quarta Rosa palette. I almost always use these for every look. I use them in combination with my Singe Beauty brushes, which are also my favorites. I'll have them linked in the description box. These brushes are great for everyone, but if you're someone who likes a lot of details in your eye looks, or if you have hooded or aging eyes, these brushes are absolutely perfect. Usually you will have to buy a whole big brush set just to get one small blending brush, and with this set you get two small blending brushes, the fluffy blending brush, and then the two flatter brushes. Those are perfect for blending. They're good for the inner corner, laying on the shimmer shades, and under the waterline. They pick up so beautifully. I have probably well over 200 brushes in my collection, but every day I wash these brushes and use them, or I spot clean them just so I can use them. They're the ones that I've gravitated to the most. And before I got these in my collection, the Sigma brush you see me using here was the one that I always used in my looks. But now I love using these in combination together. I always try to keep the Singe Beauty brushes linked in my description box because I really want you guys to experience this wonderful brand. And for those of you who might be new to YouTube or don't know, Singe Beauty is an independently owned brand, and it was created by the YouTuber and content creator EYELINER. I will have her channel linked down below as well. I've said it before, she was one of the first people I started watching on YouTube, and she taught me everything I know about eyeshadow and indie brands and how to use color, and has inspired me to always look for really cool color combinations in my palettes. I honestly don't think I would have ever started this channel if I hadn't have found her channel first. Here you can see what I mean when I said that orange really deepened up a lot. You can tell the crease is a little bit darker. The blend on that shadow is absolutely beautiful. Now here is where I started to experience some problems with this palette. These deeper shades are very powdery, and you can see I just got so much fallout on my face. And typically when I'm not recording, I do my eyeshadow first, but because I had a bunch of new products I wanted to try, I did my eyeshadow last, and the fallout was so bad on this. And when I tapped my brush off on my mirror, it looked like somebody sprayed baby powder, because this shadow is so powdery and dry. It's like the Subculture palette all over again. It did work and it blended beautifully. It wasn't like patchy or anything like that. But as I said, the fallout on this is really, really bad. And even after tapping my brush off, I still got fallout. And usually I don't mind, but this fallout did not wipe away very easily. I had to brush it away with a big fluffy brush. And I also had to go back under my eye with powder and concealer to try to fix it. I didn't try all of the deep shades in this palette, but I do try the dark brown and the green, and they're both the same way. It's not something that I've had happen before with the ColourPop palettes. Now, this palette is almost a year old in my collection, and like I said, this is my first time using it, so maybe like the formula has just gotten older, but it's not even a year old, so I don't think that that could be it. At least I hope not. Because there are some palettes in my collection that I've had since 2016, 2017, and they still work perfectly fine. I mean, I know the expiration date on eyeshadow palettes is usually around 2 years, but most of the time, they will still work way beyond that. I don't mind using powder products past their expiration date because usually the only issue is it will lose pigmentation and stuff like that. The blendability might change also. But like I said, I've never had an eyeshadow palette go bad to where I couldn't use it or to where their powders really like turned into actual dust. So because of that, I can't really recommend the palette. Now, if you want it because it's nostalgic for you, then yeah, definitely. Or if you're someone who doesn't like a lot of contrast in their looks and really doesn't want to deepen it up the way that I do, then yeah, I think you will love it too, because the lighter and the mid-tone shades work really good and I really love them. But outside of that, I just think you should know before going in that these deep shades are really dusty. Now I'm using this really small blending brush from Singe Beauty and this pencil brush from Sigma Beauty to deepen up this outer corner with that dark green shade. And this brush from Singe Beauty is the smallest blending brush I've ever seen in my life, and it is absolutely so perfect for deepening up the outer corner or going in like those with those really dark shades that you kind of want to just concentrate in one area. And just so you know, when you see me go back and forth in between brushes and I haven't shown you what color I'm using, it's because I'm going back in with that previous shade to blend it all back out. I always do that. It's my favorite technique for most eyeshadow formulas. I just think it gives you such a smooth and beautiful blend. Now I'm going in with that dark green shade on my lower lash line, and this brush is from Do Color, and these brushes are sold on Amazon. They work pretty well, especially for the price. You get a ton of brushes. I have 2 sets of them, and I really enjoy using them. They're not bad brushes at all. But to be fair, they're not Singe Beauty either. But the Singe Beauty brushes are $50 for 5. But, you know, it's one of those things, you get what you pay for. But I also understand what it's like to not be able to fork over $50 for some eyeshadow brushes. Because when I first started getting into makeup, the only brushes I could afford was the e.l.f. brushes that were $1 and the $1 Profusion brushes. I will say though, the Profusion ones are really good, especially if you don't have the money to spend a lot on brushes. You can get them at Walmart. You might be able to on their site too, but they're only $1 and they have some really like small blending brushes as well. I wanted to smoke out my lower lash line just a little bit more, so I grabbed this Real Techniques brush. It's kind of, the bristles are really short, but it's fluffier, and I really like the effect that these give on the lower lash line. This was a 5-piece brush set that I got from Walmart, and I'm pretty sure they still have it, and it's a really good, affordable set. It came with 2 brushes similar to this one. There's one smaller than this, and then the other ones were like a fluffier blending brush and then a smaller blending brush. Now I'm using this BH Cosmetics flat shader brush to pack on a little bit of NYX glitter glue. I use this in every look that has shimmers. It's one of my favorite products, and not only does it keep you from getting glitter fallout or keep the glitter from moving like up your eye, it also makes the impact of your shimmers like so much better. I really love it, and this is only $4. This is the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 setting spray again. Now, if you don't have glitter glue and you have a setting spray, typically the ones with glycerin in them, it does make the opacity of your shimmers a lot better if you pack on the shimmer onto the brush and then spray it after. Don't do it before because you will get hard pan on your eyeshadow. but this works really well too. And sometimes I like doing both like I did here. Like I mentioned earlier, I really love the shimmers in this palette. This green was really beautiful. Orange and green are some of my favorite color combinations to do. I just think they're so fun and so pretty. I typically don't do this, but here I'm kind of taking that shimmer up into my crease a little bit, only because I didn't really like the blend that I had in between those shades. They don't blend together. They will muddy up green and orange, but a shimmer shade will kind of help you get there. Now I'm just using the orange shimmer on the edge of this green, just trying to get it to blend into the outer corner. And then I will go back in with those dark outer corner shades and make it all more blended and cohesive. I think I paid around $24 for this eyeshadow palette. And while that's not a bad price at all, there are better formulas than this one in ColourPop's different eyeshadow palettes. ColourPop was one of those brands that had like 1 or 2 releases every week. Like there was no way you could keep up. And this year they've really concentrated more on making their formulas and their permanent line better. They've reformulated a lot of stuff on their sites. So they haven't really put out a lot of collections this year, which is kind of shocking. And at first it was kind of like a nice break because honestly no one can keep up, but now I kind of miss them and I want them to come out with more. The last few collections they've came out with was anime, and that's not really my vibe, so I really weren't into those, and I'm just ready for a new ColourPop collection, and I'm so ready to see what they release this Halloween. I planned on using this glitter shade for my inner corner highlight, and I really don't like this shade at all. It's a shimmer, but it's got a chunkier glitter in it, and it's kind of dry too, and I just really wasn't into it. So because of that, I picked up my BLENDBUNNY NOCTILUCENT palette, and I love this palette. It's one of the best colorful highlighters in my collection, if not the best, and they are so high impact and so beautiful. You can really see the shine and the brightness that it added to this look. I don't mind using a matte inner corner highlight, but this palette didn't have anything light enough in it for me to be able to use for that. So when all else fails, I almost always pull out this palette, especially in combination with more colorful looks. So I have these eyeliners in my description box. They are still for sale. This is the Makeup Revolution and Beetlejuice eyeliner set. I also have the eyeshadow palette and the highlight palette from this collection, and they swatched really nice on my hand. This is a 5-piece set. I think I paid $3 for them because I got them from TJ Maxx. But let me tell you, these eyeliners freaking suck. They are the worst eyeliners I've ever tried in my life. As you can see, I keep trying to warm it up and hoping that it will like really show up, but they suck so bad. I ended up going with a ColourPop eyeliner that was an orange. I have it in the description box. Now I'm trying the Give Beauty Can't Stop Staring mascara, and I know y'all know exactly what I'm thinking this looks like. This was a birthday gift from Sephora. My birthday was just on the 12th, and I'm so glad I got to try this because I love this mascara. It's a little bit volumizing, but more than anything, it's very lengthening, and the little ball tip on the end of it, or whatever you want to call it, is so good at getting into those inner corner lashes, and this was a really good mascara to use for your lower lashes too. These lip liners are a new release from Unearthly Cosmetics. This is the shade Fiery, and I really love these. This is a really good formula. It's like dry enough to hold on your lips and stay, but it's also very creamy, and they're just beautiful shades you won't find anywhere else. That's what I love so much about Unearthly Cosmetics. They are so good at releasing like the grungier tones, the tones you won't see in any other brand. Fiery describes this shade perfect. It's like a burnt orange color and it's so beautiful. And these are only $6. Like, come on, you cannot beat that, especially coming from an indie brand. But these are even cheaper than any lip liner you will find in the drugstore outside of Wet n Wild. And they also have the best liquid lipstick formula I've ever tried. That was in the shade Gnarly, and these are absolutely beautiful. They are satins. The gloss is beautiful as well. Both of those came from the mystery box from the summer. It was the large box. And I also have the shade GIANA. I really love this formula, and it is my favorite liquid lipstick formula in my collection. I wanted to try to show you guys how I put on my lashes. I don't know how well you can see here, but I'm using these Kiss lashes with the Kiss lash glue. These are the lashes in Jubilee. Tips I can give you for putting on lashes is 1 is practice. 2, let your lash glue dry for just a few seconds. And then when you put them on, hold your mirror up and look up into the mirror. Doing that really helps put them on. And I also have this lash applicator from Kiss, and it really helps a lot too. You can use tweezers, but there's a risk in doing that because they're sharp and you could poke yourself. And the way these are shaped is really great. Here is the finished look. I'm really loving the lipstick combo and the face products. Now to do a quick recap, I absolutely hate the liners. They're terrible. The palette is okay. Like, we've been all over that. I've ranted. I absolutely love the face products so much, and I'm so glad I got them. I highly recommend you try them out, but get them in the right shade. I really enjoyed using this brow pencil as well. Really liked the shape and tip of it more than I thought I would. I guess the same could be said about the tip of this mascara, but I'm not that kind of girl. However, this is a really great mascara, and when I use it up, I do intend on buying the full one. And as I mentioned a little bit ago, I really love the lip liners from Unearthly Cosmetics, and I really love the liquid lipstick formula because it's very hydrating but still long wearing. And here is the highlight from Unearthly. I love their highlighting formula as well. This is just a really fun brand for me, and I enjoy using them. I would say out of everything I tried today, my favorite was definitely the face products from Give Beauty. That's it for today's video, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please like this video, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications. Bye.
Later. It's a really good eye primer, and especially if you are just, you know, a low maintenance eye primer, you don't enjoy this one. Although I will say, I don't know how many shades it comes in now, but it is a pretty one. Okay, I think we are ready.